Hello, SYNGAP land. My name is Michael Graglia. Today is Friday, June 26th of the year 2026, and we are in week 26 of that year. It's been a busy week as usual. I was down in San Diego at Bio for a couple days. Amazing conference. Lots of biotech companies there, big and small. Talked to a couple of small companies. I have a LinkedIn post about this, and I learned from one of them that FRAXA, which is the Organization for Fragile X, actually has a lab down in Chile where they keep a colony of Fragile X mice and they test small molecules. This company I was talking to, he has a small molecule that might be a good drug. And the Fraxa people were like, yeah, send it down to Chile. This is what it costs, la, 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 and we'll get it tested. And he said, well, do you guys have that? I said, no, we're nowhere near as big as Fragile X. I said, we do have a lot of labs that have our mice in it, but these labs they're already running at full tilt. So I'm really starting to think about, and I want to explore the cost of setting something up like Fraxa has, because there's a lot of people with small molecules out there. And I would love a way to quickly and economically test those molecules on SYNGAP mice, because that is step one to maybe a company getting more interested in SYNGAP and giving our patients access to these drugs. And you might say, well, Mike, you can't afford doing an ASO soon. You got other companies. One day maybe we'll have a gene therapy. Why are we worried about small molecules? The reality is, access to these therapies is going to be a whole other battle we're going to have to fight. Like once this is approved and we show that it works, getting them paid for is not going to be trivial. And some of us in the States and other developed countries are probably going to be able to get them paid for. And some people with SYNGAP not in the States may not. So we still need to find small molecules both as a better therapy for kids around the world and as an alternate therapy for kids right here at home who may not be able to afford or access the better medicines that we're working on. So small molecules are still very important. And and somebody just called me the other day and said, well, what are we raising money for these days? And we say no to a lot of science, guys. There's a lot of cool things we haven't done because we're prioritizing like the best of the best. So there's a lot of cool science we could fund, but this is something that's really becoming an interesting issue because I'm meeting a lot of companies with a lot of interesting drugs, better drugs than what we've got right now, and I want to test them. So anyway, we need money. We need money, which brings me to MDBR, the $1 Million Bike Ride. I mentioned in my last post that Justin rode for that and raised some money. Thank you, Justin. But I was promptly corrected by the team that I failed to thank people like Heather Mestemaker and Dr. Jillian McKee, CHOP, who also rode on behalf of Cure SYNGAP1. And together, the group raised, I think, over $11,000. So I apologize for that. We now have a blog up, the MDBR 26 recap. And I love those pictures, especially with Dr. McKee there with her kids. I'm really glad that she wanted them to see her doing this work. They should be so proud of her. We're very lucky to have Dr. McKee. If you don't know who she is, then you haven't been to CHOP yet. Go to CHOP or Stanford or Colorado Children's to take part in the natural history study. And when you're there, wear a Cure SYNGAP1 t-shirt. So I've had a lot of people be like, where's the merch? We need more merch. Where are the t-shirts? We are running a campaign right now. What is a campaign? It means you have 19 days to buy. Why do we do that as opposed to having them one-off on our website? Two reasons. First of all, when we can batch all the orders together, it's more economical. We don't spend as much money printing the t-shirts. Second of all, the one-off prints off the website are printed in a different way. Like one of them is something and the other one is silkscreen or what, it doesn't matter. The one-offs just don't last as long. And I hate seeing a SYNGAP t-shirt that isn't in good condition. So we're going to do a campaign. You got 19 days left to order a SYNGAP t-shirt. There's some cute, funny ones about elopement, non-preferred tasks, and something else. And then there's the classic Love, Hope, Cure, SYNGAP Warrior, and just the Cure SYNGAP1 logo. So check those out. Buy some t-shirts or sweaters or tank. It's all the things, all the colors you get to choose. Just do it. We also have a very cool resource on our website called for the genetic testing. A lot of us get into conversations with people about SYNGAP. How did you get diagnosed with SYNGAP? Well, genetic testing. Oh, maybe my kid or cousin or nephew or a neighbor's kid or whatever needs genetic testing. How do you get genetic testing? And then most of us say, I don't know, it's a couple of years ago, my doctor, or I'm not sure. Well, now, curesingap1.org/GT is a whole article about genetic testing, some primers on kind of like what the different kinds are and where people can go for genetic testing. So that's a resource. It's on our website, curesingap1.org/GT. Use that. Check it out. Share it with people. It's a good thing. Also on our website, we got 2 new warrior profiles, Phoenix and Kenna, or Kenna. I hope it's Kenna. I don't know. They're adorable. The Phoenix write-up was really amazing. What struck me in that one was They were both amazing. But what struck me in the Phoenix write-up was how Mom talked about how she just toughed it out for a few years before she finally went to a doctor and complained, and the doctor ordered testing, and they figured out Phoenix had SYNGAP, and they were like, yep, this is exactly Phoenix. And I think a lot of us are doing that. A lot of parents are just toughing it out. They're just putting up. They're just surviving. And I want to encourage everybody to ask for help more often. And then when you don't get it the first time, ask harder. Keep asking. We need help, and we need to have the clinicians and the good people who are out there understand what's going on in SYNGAP land. So if you're toughing it out, please stop and ask for help, and take care of yourself and take care of your Syngapian. All right, things to look forward to. There's quite a few things to look forward to. We have a webinar on June 30th. That is in 4 days. Look at me do math. It's about understanding ASOs and informed consent. We are going to have ASO clinical trials in the next couple of years. It's never too early to think about ASOs and think about informed consent. So that is a webinar being put on by friends of ours at KCNT1 and Deep. Check it out. And then now we are up to 4 events that I can tell you when they are. In 99 days, we're going to have the 5th Scramble for SYNGAP in South Carolina. If you're a golfer or you know someone who's a golfer, get down there. If you're a family who golfs, get down there. It's just a great community Julie's building. It's going to be a fabulous event. I love the Scramble for SYNGAP. We're starting a new event, Shoot for SYNGAP, I'm told, is being started by a family in Utah, and that'll be in 141 days on November 14th. And then Fight for Felipe over in Boston. We got a webpage up for that, curesingap1.org/fight26. That's going to be at a social club, I think. You can buy tickets. You can go and support the cause and have drinks with great people in Boston. That's in 155 days. Very exciting. That'd be a great pre-party for then coming to the conference, which is in 159 days on December 3rd and 4th in Denver. Very excited about this conference. It's going to be the best ever. We have a wonderful venue. We're doing it in coordination with SLC 6A1 and KCNT1, 2 other exceptional rare disease groups. Rooms are $159 a night at the Grand Hyatt in Denver, which is a screaming deal. Book your rooms now. The rooms will sell. The block will sell out. If you know you're coming to the conference, book your rooms now. The block will sell out. And plan on joining us. It's going to be an amazing gathering. You want to get in on Wednesday. You don't want to leave before Saturday morning. And some people stick around on Saturday because there's so many good people there. All right. I've said my piece on that. PubMed is at 38, which is up 12 compared to us being in week 26. Why is this good news? It means we're on track to have way more papers this year than we had last year, which is always a good sign. My favorite paper is the most recent, right? Or the most recent is by Dr. Frazier, who has published yet another paper on SYNGAP based on things we recruited for like over a year or 2 ago. So thank you to those 46 patients. This illustrates how challenging sleep is in Syngapians. Great work, Dr. Frazier. Thank you very much. If you are a patient in the United States of America, you have an ICD-10 code, use it. If you are using Citizen, ask the AI bot in Citizen to list all your ICD-10 codes. Make sure F78.81 is there. If it is not there, every time you see a doctor, be like, hey, put F78.81 in Tony's chart. Put it there. It's the best and most specific ICD-10 code for his condition. Why does this matter? Because this is how companies will find you. This is how cost analyses will be done. We need that code everywhere. Social media matters. Make sure you're following us on social. We got over 5,000 on LinkedIn, almost 1,600 on YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. Camp 4 closed at 392 yesterday. Business is booming, gang. We got 6 months left. Plan on coming to the conference. Keep raising money. I want to thank the people who've pre-registered for the ALBA survey, the people who have pre-registered for the OMIC survey. If we call you and ask you to be in a survey, please understand we spent a lot of time and effort thinking about who to recruit for which survey, and we're spending time and money to get someone on the phone with you to ask you to join. Say yes. Taking part in these studies helps us make sure we get ourselves in publications, better understood, and more research. I can't tell you everything that I've learned this week, but it's exciting news, and there's a lot of good things in the works for Syngapians. The way we ensure that those good things keep coming is we stay together, we stay unified, we support each other, we raise money. Every single person can raise money for this cause and allow us to partner with more scientists, more clinicians, and more companies. It's a long road, guys. We're all club members for life. We're all club members for life. So we got to fight for these kids every single day. Thank you for all you've done, and thank you for all you're going to do. See you next week.